Okay. Second violin, Spanish violin. Hello guys, in this video we're going to be talking about how to play Spanish violin. Not like the specific violin that's made in Spain, but anyways. So, as I've explained everything in the first violins, this is fairly easy actually, considering the different types of rhythm that you have. The only challenging part about this piece is that you're mostly playing on G string and D string, right? So you have to be very familiar with G string specifically. D and A, we've done it so much that you're very comfortable with these two. But the notes on G string is the one that you really have to focus on. Not to mention that there are two sharps in the key signature. Once more, the difference would be if you see sharps or flats, we haven't done any flats yet, but if you see sharps during the piece, that's called accidental. That's only effective for that measure. But if you see it in the key signature, which is right before the time signature and right after the clefs that you have, these are permanent unless you see another key signature that changes this, which you're not going to see that for a while. These are permanent for the entire piece, and they apply to all the Fs and all the Cs, regardless of where they are. If it's a high C, high F, low F, all the ones you have. For instance, as you see, the first sharp sign is on the fifth line, and the fifth line is for F. The second sharp sign is on the third space, which is for C. That's why we know it's F sharp and C sharp. So, this C has to be sharp, and also this C has to be also sharp. So second finger on A has to be high. Third finger on G has to be high as well. Now, for third finger on G, there's a substitute finger. You would either be able to use high third or low fourth. And again, experiment with them to see which one feels more comfortable. For some kids, you would not be able to use your fourth maybe because you have a little tiny pinky, and it would be a little bit easier for you to just raise your third finger. Whichever works for you for now, do that. But keep in mind, third finger is on blue, C sharp is on the white after blue. Whether it's your low fourth that's playing it or high third that's playing it, you have to use the same tape. Back to the music. The speed is not that fast. Goes like this. Notice high third as opposed to low third. So high third. And then we're not going to be doing any of the ties, right? You're going to have ties. You may ask why there is like 3 ties. The reason is that ties can only happen between 2 notes at a time. If they want the next 2 notes to also be a tie together, they have to start another tie, another line for the next 2 and next 2. So ties can only happen between 2 notes at a time, which means essentially you have to hold this for 3 times 4, now 12 beats, right? 3 beats here, 3, 3, 3, essentially. But we're not going to be doing any of the ties. So each note gets its own bow. Now, dotted half notes are 3 beats. Regular half notes are 2 beats, like this, and quarter notes are 1 beat. So make sure you do all of these. See, they're pretty much going from B to C, high third. Don't forget to write any of accidentals, any of the fingerings, upward, downward arrow, anything that you need to get reminded of what note to play. It's good to write it down because you only get one shot at performing this. And if you made a mistake, we wouldn't be able to stop and redo it, right? But you can write clues, right? Whatever you need to see to get reminded. And you wouldn't need to do these things forever. As long as you do it now and you get used to it, then you'll be good to go. Back to B, C sharp. Notice there is no sharps. There's never going to be sharps for C's in this piece because they are already here. That's the difference. For key signature, you put it at the beginning of each line and it applies to the entire line. therefore the entire piece. C sharp, open E, back to G string. This is below the first ledger line. If you're still having some difficulties reading the notes on G string, make sure you learn them immediately. Notes on G strings are the ones that we haven't been playing in a lot. So you have to learn those now because you're going to be using them here. All this. P-I-Z-Z stands for pizzicato, which means plucking. You're holding your bow like this. First of all, you're holding it like that as you play. Then you just grab it, release your thumb and index finger. Put the tip of your thumb under the edge of the fingerboard, and with the tip of your index finger, pluck sideways about an inch away from the fingerboard. So the last two measures are pluck like that. That's all I have to say about this piece. Don't forget to practice measure by measure, line by line. Don't just skim through the entire piece. You wouldn't be able to learn it correctly. Have fun practicing, guys.